The town of Stillwater was aptly named. The air was still, heavy with the scent of damp earth and something far older, something that clung to the back of your throat. The lake at its center was a glassy black mirror, reflecting the perpetually gray sky. Outsiders, drawn by the town's unusual, antique charm, rarely stayed past sundown. That was because the kids of Stillwater made sure they didn't. 12-year-old Elara ran a hand through the muddy soil, her eyes fixed on the distant gleam of a rental car pulling into the general store, a new one. Her heart thumped a nervous rhythm against her ribs. The other kids, perched on fallen logs and rusted swings, watched with the same tense anticipation. They weren't being cruel. They were trying to save a life. It was a terrible secret, passed down through whispers and wary glances from one generation of children to the next. The lake was alive and it was hungry. To keep the town alive, to prevent the buildings from crumbling and the crops from withering, the lake demanded a sacrifice. And that sacrifice always had to be an outsider. The adults knew it. They looked on with a bone-deep weariness, seeing it as the cost of their existence. But the children, they saw only a horror to be prevented. Their method was simple, if gruesome. The lake, in its terrible benevolence, would return the bodies of its previous victims. Not all of them, just enough. The kids would patrol the shoreline, waiting for the telltale shimmer in the water. They had their designated spots. When a new visitor showed up, they would get to work. Elara's best friend, Finn, gave a silent nod. He knew their part. They had to be quick, theatrical, and utterly convincing. It wasn't about scaring them for fun. It was about injecting a primal, gut-wrenching terror that would make them drive away without looking back. The new visitor, a woman with a bright red jacket and an optimistic smile, was walking toward the lake, a camera in her hand. Elara felt a surge of panic. This one seemed too curious. "Okay, get ready," Finn whispered. "We'll use the one from last year. It should be right by the big rock." As the woman approached the water's edge, Elara and Finn crept along the muddy bank, a silent, macabre team. They reached the large, moss-covered stone. Finn plunged a thin, long stick into the silty water. After a few tense seconds, he snagged something. With a great heave, he pulled it toward the bank. A pale, waterlogged hand emerged, its flesh a ghastly white against the dark water, its fingers splayed. The woman gasped, dropping her camera with a loud clatter. Her optimistic smile was gone, replaced by a look of sheer, unadulterated horror. Elara and Finn stood up, their faces blank. The woman didn't wait to see more. She turned and sprinted back to her car, her bright jacket a frantic flash of color against the dreary landscape. They watched the car's taillights disappear down the dirt road. The silence returned, broken only by the lapping of the water. Elara nudged the hand back into the lake, where it sank with a soft gurgle. She felt no triumph, only a quiet sadness. They had succeeded. They had saved another one. But they knew the water would always be waiting. And the next time a visitor came, they would be ready, their terrible, necessary job unfinished.